Extricate myself from this monstrosity of a machine that I've built. So our business now includes a full-time processor who takes all our paperwork. Just when we actually do a deal. When I do a deal, here's how it works. I get the phone calls come in. I use TV commercials myself. It's like 1-800-SELL NOW or 1-800-BUY-QUICK. That goes to a call center in Atlanta. The call center pre-screens the calls and sends them to RF Submit. www.RF Submit, which imports them directly into RealFlow. Once they get into RealFlow, I've got a whole list of buyers. Anytime the TV commercials are running, or we also do radio ads and bandit signs, I know when it's going because I'm always getting new buyers into RealFlow. I have my sales guy who works with me go and call the people and pre-screen them and see if it's something we're interested in working with and get the people all the requirements for the short sale. When we set up an appointment to meet with the people, we go out to the house. My sales guy's going to get the paperwork, and my BPO guy, who is also my project manager, and I just got him a certified home inspector certificate, so he actually goes out and gets a whole list of everything that's going on with the house on his home inspection certificate sheet. That also goes to serve as a checklist of all the improvements that are needed to be made on the house, which you can put in RealFlow under the Hammer Point Project Estimator. So when you're going out to do your BPOs, you can show the agent or the appraiser how much costs are going to be done. Then we get in full. I have Jeremy who negotiates all my deals for me. So after we've got all the packages together, Sherry, my processor, takes all the information from the BPO agents, from my project manager who has the cost, submits them up to Jeremy. Jeremy negotiates them. My BPO guy runs the BPO appointments, and that's pretty much the cycle, and then my real estate agent sells them. I don't sell anymore, thank God. He just puts them on the market, prices them aggressively, 85% of what the retail value is, and they move because they're priced right. And I'm undercutting the market on everybody else out there. So life's a lot easier now. So that's it.
Good deal. Give Matt a hand, please. I don't think you took a single breath in that whole 8 or 10 minute diatribe right there. That was good though, dude. That was real good. I think a lesson I would take away from what Matt just said is that he built a business that he had to then retrofit back to the way he wanted it done. And a lot of us are starting to build a business right now, and it can become a runaway train fast, right? Especially if we're good at marketing, it can become a runaway train fast. Shrek and RealFlow were that same monster for Greg and I. Ambrose, we managed. Greg and I were very involved in it, and we were able to bring in our apprentice group, and Derek and Zach were able to slowly take over things. So that was a pretty easy transition, but Shrek and RealFlow have only been around really for 1.5 years or 2 years, and they're really big companies. We have about 20, 25 employees, of which not too many of them are here, but we've had to go back and revisit on a constant basis what's my role and what's Greg's role in these companies, okay? Ultimately, you guys as the leaders, the visionaries of your companies, that's what you get paid for, is the vision, not to actually be in the business doing all the work, okay? So I know for some of you that are brand new, it's tough to envision a company that does $500,000 or $1 million a year when you haven't even done your first deal. But that's some of the things we talked about last night with the 10 times mind expander. Think of your business now as if it's 10 times bigger than it is today. And if your business is zero, start with 100 grand, making 100 grand a year. Imagine that business making $1 million, and then what would you do? How would you do it? Who would be your players? Who would be your people, right? So Matt's sort of learned a hard lesson, but he's been able to retrofit the business now to the way he wants it built. And I think that's a really cool story. Thanks a lot, Matt, for that. Give Matt a hand, please, again. Howie, what's up, man? This is Howie Ruales from Jacksonville, Florida. Let's hear a little bit about your story and your business.
All right. My background actually was in the mortgage side of things. A partner of mine had a very successful mortgage company that ran from the year 2000 until about early part of 2007. And with the whole downturn of the market, it got pretty scary, when we were used to doing a certain amount of business, and then just literally overnight, we lost a ton of people because, one after another, all these mortgage lenders just started going under. And for me, it was it was like a real eye-opener. It was like, you know, me and my partner had this big office and all this overhead and expense, and I was just like, man, well, what are we going to do now, you know? And it was really scary, and you know, I started searching for other things, you know, and I saw the way the market was headed, and I actually did my first short sale by mistake. I didn't even know I was doing a short sale, or didn't even know what one was, but I had a friend of mine who financed a house with us, and he got a little bit of trouble, and he was trying to refinance. I couldn't refinance him out of it, and then one of his buddies wanted to buy the house, but it was like $20,000 short, you know. So I called the lender, or they were calling me like every other day, you know, what's going on with this loan, what's going on with this loan, and I just told them, listen, I can't get this guy done. His credit score's in the tank, and but there's another gentleman that wants to buy the property, but we're like $20,000 short on it. So they just faxed me over this package, told me to have the homeowner fill some information out, and boom, that was the first short sale I did, just kind of like, you know, by mistake. So I did a couple more of those for investor friends of mine. I also did some rehabbing, like not as extensive as Matt. I lost a lot of money doing my rehabs. So I did 2 of those, and I was just like, oh man, I can't. I was just too inexperienced. I was trying to do everything myself with a friend of mine, and that was just when the market. I did it at the wrong time, I guess, because the market just started to dive and lost a ton of money. So, oh, okay, sorry. So then, in October of '07, I went to a foreclosure boot camp down in Tampa, and this is where I met Josh and the guys. And man, as soon as I heard the information, I was like, man, this is it. This is it, you know? Because I really had a little bit of a tough time talking to the lenders at first when I did my first couple of short sales, and I was like, I need to get more training, you know? And at the time, I got to tell you, it was really scary for me because I was in a tremendous, tremendous amount of debt, probably to the tune of like $100,000, you know? And I went to this seminar, and these guys, you know, were selling their coaching package, and I'm just like tossing the thing around my head. Should I do this? Should I not do this? Finally, you know, I slept on it, and I just said, screw it, man. If I'm gonna go, I'm just gonna go in a huge way. You know what I mean? So let it all go.
Ball of flames. Ball of flames.
So I went ahead and, you know, and signed up for coaching, and that was like really scary for me because I didn't have any money. I was in tremendous amount of debt, and you know, but these guys, man, they were swearing up and down that this stuff works and you can make tons of money doing it. So it took me probably 5.5 months to do my first deal. And there were so many times when I just wanted to throw the towel in and just say, you know, this doesn't work, you know, or I can't do this. But I hung in there, and my first deal was not really a huge deal. It was only like $12,000. And I closed that deal 5.5 months after the October of '07 event. And then my second deal, though, was $65,000, which was really cool. So to be able to, you know, take 60 grand and pay off, you know, almost all that $100,000 that was in debt was just like awesome, man. Like, you know, I could probably start tearing right now thinking about it. You know, right? So, and Nathan actually, he helped me out with that deal. He funded that first deal for me, and he's been a huge resource. He's kind of like, we're both from Florida, so in my backyard, so to speak. And you know, these events are awesome because, you know, you surround yourself with people that think like you do, and it just really motivates you and pumps me up because I know that everyone here has